What's up, bosses? Carlin here with this week's episode of The Truck Boss Show. Our girl Lisella is standing by. We'll get to her in just a second. But first, let's jump straight into this week's headlines. Now, we all know drivers have some of the biggest hearts out there. I mean, they sacrifice their time at home to do a thankless job. But one man is being recognized for going above and beyond, saving a woman from a burning car. On September 10th, Robert DeGrazia of ABF Freight was headed to Florida to pick up a load when he saw a small car on fire with a young woman inside. He jumped into action, grabbing his fire extinguisher and putting out the flames. He then helped the woman call her dad and 911. For his heroics, he has been recognized as a highway angel by the Truckload Carriers Association. From everyone here at the Truck Boss Show, thank you for your quick thinking and amazing act of kindness, Robert. You can read the full article by following the link in the comments below. Now let's head over to Risella with some news on drone deliveries.
Thanks, Carlin. Last-minute deliveries are a big thing now. In 2019, there were some drone developments, including Amazon introducing an artificial intelligence-controlled drone it is using for delivery tests. Now, FedEx Corp began testing drones for FedEx Express and Walgreens deliveries, and UPS began drone deliveries of pharmaceuticals. Wing Aviation has worked for 6 years to build an aircraft and navigational system to safely deliver small packages on demand to destination in minutes. To check out the interesting article, check out the link in the comment thread below. Now here's Carlin on some GPS implementations.
Thanks, Isela. Now they come pre-programmed in all of our phones, and we use them to get from point A to point B. But now several senators from the Northeast are calling for navigation apps like Google and Apple Maps and Waze to add more information that truckers use and need, like low bridges and truck-restricted roads. Now, the senators, Richard Blumenthal, Chuck Schumer, and Ed Markey, believe the, quote, common sense information will help reduce accidents involving trucks. Now, you can check out the full article in the comments below. Back to Isela with the story of a dangerous situation on a highway in Indiana.
Thanks, Carlin. A trucking inspection in Rushville, Indiana stops a dangerous rig. On January 16th, Trooper Eric Thumb noticed a big rig driving through Rushville. He noticed it was pulling a double trailer known as a Michigan train with no registration plate, no federally required company markings, or tax numbers on the side of the vehicle. The truck weighed 176,300 pounds. The driver was cited. Truck was impounded with the steel coils until it can legally be delivered. Now, to read the full article, check out the comment thread below, and we're going to be sharing that link now. On to Carlin for our first segment of the show.
Thanks, Isela. Now, we're almost to the end of January, and every month leading up to April, we're sharing some tips on what you should do to make sure that you're actually prepared for tax day. Now, we sat down with Barry Fowler with truckertaxtools.com to find out what drivers should be doing right now to stay ahead of the game.
Hey guys, Carlin with the Truck Boss Show here. It is January, so that means we are trying our best to prepare you for tax season come April. We are here with Barry Fowler, the president of the truckertaxtools.com. Barry, thanks for joining us again, sir.
Carlin, it's a pleasure. I enjoy being here with you. It's good to get information out to truckers, and the Truck Boss Show has been great doing that.
First question, and this is kind of going to be the encompass all of it. It's January. What do the drivers need to do and need to know for tax time in this month?
Well, the first thing is if you're a company driver, you're going to be getting your W-2s, so you want to make sure you get that together. Broker statements and stuff like that. If you got investment accounts, are going to be coming out, so accumulate that, get it to your tax preparer, and get it over to Trucker Tax Tools. Owner operators, you're going to be getting those 1099s coming in. One thing you want to make sure you do is if you've been doing bookkeeping on your own, or you have a bookkeeper, or you're using Trucker Tax Tools, you get that 1099 to them so they can compare what they've got as your revenue to that 1099, what the truck companies are telling you they paid you. Want to make sure that's correct, because it's very, very important when we get the taxes done that if there are 1099s there, that the revenue matches those 1099s so you don't set yourself up for an audit. And then if you haven't used anybody for bookkeeping, January is a great time to call Trucker Tax Tools. Our number is 877-966-2477 to get yourself set up with bookkeeping for 2020. Let's get the numbers right. Let's be ahead of the game.
Well, Barry, thank you, sir. That's been this segment of the Truck Boss Show. Catch you on the next one.
Now be sure to tune in every month for more information on what needs to be done so you're ready to tackle Tax Day 2020. Now, Isela, what other segments do we have today?
Next, Carlin had a great conversation with George Arrants discussing technician shortage. He dives into the misunderstanding of turnover in the industry. Check it out.
Hey guys, Carlin with the Truck Boss Show here with another awesome segment. We are joined by George Arrants, who is an automotive education consultant. George, thanks for joining us again, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You did touch a little bit on this automotive technician shortage, and you kind of described it as not necessarily a shortage, but a shortage of candidates. Can you go a little bit more in detail, explain that a little bit more to us?
Well, right now in the United States, today, I could put my finger on over 129,000 students taking automotive classes in the United States. That's a lot of kids. And if there's 129,000 kids interested in programs, if only half of them make their way to the workforce, you and I would not be having this conversation. But the problem is they're not. And we're losing them through either not completing their education, or their education wasn't what they expected and they didn't get the skill sets that they need. They tried to find employment, wasn't able to stay, or they got a good job, or they thought they got a good job, but they were thrown into the job to be productive techs on the first day. They didn't make it, and they packed up their toolbox and went to another industry.
What can schools do to better prepare those students for maybe that situation? Or is it not necessarily on the school's part? Is it on the shop's part, the companies that are hiring them?
When I talk to schools, I tell them you have two customers, the students and the people that hire them. Everybody else is in your way. And if you don't go out and ask industry what they need in an entry-level technician and the skill sets, and you continue to teach what you've always taught, then you're not preparing your students for the workplace. You're virtually making them underemployable or unemployable.
Awesome. Well, thank you, sir. And that's been it for this segment of the Truck Boss Show. We'll catch you on the next one.
Great job, Carlin. That was a great conversation.
It was really eye-opening, like he said, to see the evolution of workplaces, because they do have to appeal to that younger generation because, as he said, they're working to live, not live to work. So it's very nice to see that there are at least some of the older generation who are talking and going around and saying, hey, you need to change in order to get people to come in. So.
Well, and I mean, if you think about it, we have to adapt to like the new era, the new changes, technology, and all this cool stuff. Like back in our days, I'm gonna say it. Back in my days,
showing your age.
Beepers and the cell phones were like this big, and the computers were huge. But with all that advancing, we have to adapt to that change because we're not always going to be here.
That's right.
Somebody else has to do it.
And you got to make sure that they're actually still working for you. That way they can take over when you do retire. So, hey, we had a lot of stuff packed into this show this week, but next week we do have even more. So, Brad Kuhn is actually going to be talking about entry-level driver training. So for all of those new drivers who are trying to hit the road, he's actually diving into some of the new rules and regulations that are going to be in place that you need to be aware of.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of interesting information, so you cannot miss out. But if you have not kickstarted your New Year's resolution and you just want to, start getting healthy and fit, and you're still playing like me, it's okay. We're eventually going to get started. But next week, we're going to be talking with Hustling Fitness, and our guy Shane is going to be giving us a lot of tips on circuit training and how to stay healthy.
Yeah, he's even going to give Nikki a fitness assessment, and that's a pleasure to watch. Yes,
that's going to be hilarious. It's hilarious.
It's great. Also, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and of course, hit that notification button because we have something happening tomorrow that you're going to want to know about.
So bring it over.
Bring it.
All right. So last week we gave a cool little prize. Now tomorrow we're going to be giving away this cool little speaker. So if you want a chance to win, remember, stay tuned. Get that notification button. All started
that way
together,
when
working.
we go live.
Yes. And then we'll tell you what you have to do to win this awesome prize.
That's
so
right.
Don't miss out.
Little package, big sound.
Yes.
But of course, now we have to say goodbye. But why do we do this, Stella?
Because you're the boss.